I'm Paul Inkpen, editor of Run Mag, Triathlon Mag, and I'm holding in my hand a very special new shoe. This is the New Balance FuelCell Elite Comp V3. This is a great shoe, all 236 grams of it. It's lightweight, it's a super shoe. Cost nearly $5,000, but you're going to be wondering why. It is fast. On race day, that's when you want everything. You want every gram to count, you want every bit of momentum to count, you want your form to be great. You don't want to think about your shoes, you just want to focus on your competitor, the finish line, and your time. I think super shoes have gone through some serious evolving in the last few years. Some that are unstable, some that look crazy, some that you've got to think about, some you've got to kind of concentrate, some you've got to manage. Here's a shoe you can actually put out of mind. Now here's why. There's a lovely curved plate inside, the energy arc, right? Running up the inside of your shoe. Basically, your carbon plate, okay? There's a separation gap, which is a little bit like a sort of bovine, like think of a springbok, where the energy is dispersed and then loaded. It's also wider on the back than the version 2. We liked the version 2, but it was a little bit mushy. It was a little bit too spongy. This is firmer specifically under the foot, and then softer under the plate. Narrower in the front, but the same amount of stack height and toe drop, only 4 mils. So we're not talking about a heavily stacked, unbalanced, tough to run in shoe. We're talking about a comfortable, smooth, and naturally styled towards the forward motion. You want to come off your toe, but you don't want to feel like you're forcing off your toe. You don't want to feel like you have to engineer energy over the shoe. So even with a low toe heel drop, you're still going over the front. And here's why this is different. I mean, it's called the Elite, and in your mind immediately you're thinking, oh, Elite, it must be an elite shoe, it must be for the elite runner. Actually, for once, this shoe, as a super shoe, is actually suitable to the average runner who just wants to run faster. It's more comfortable. A lot of super shoes require an aggressive move to the front of the foot. That's not going to happen much after the 5K mark in a half marathon or a marathon. Here you can forget about it, because what's happening is you've got a 4 mil heel toe drop, which is not a lot. The cushioning is actually in the front, more so than your average carbon shoe, okay? So what that means is that when you're on the front and you're kicking through, you don't get that intense sensation, you're just rolling. It's a consistent series of falling forward onto your front foot and rolling through. It's hips forward, breathing deep, and a nice comfortable motion forward, not the upward downward oscillations which require that explosiveness. You can roll in the shoe, okay? Apart from being light, it's more comfortable. And more comfort means, over time, better efficiency. Simple as that, and less fatigue. There's a few things that make this shoe more comfortable, okay? This tongue is elasticized. It's bonded to the upper. The upper is not quite as comfortable as perhaps a knit upper, but a racing shoe is not going to be a knitted upper. This is a molded upper, very comfortable. The Super Racy logo is very cool, but you don't feel it at all. Doesn't affect your comfort. But what happens over time in a long race, especially in the South African heat, is your feet swell. So here you've got space to swell upwards, okay? You've got comfort in the upper, which doesn't then affect the way your footbed is sitting on your foot. So your stability stays the same, but your comfort improves. You know, your Kenyan elite 40-odd kilogram runner might say, oh no, I don't need any cushioning in the front, I don't need any room for my foot to move, my foot's not going to swell, etc. That's a very, very limited part of the market. For the rest of us mortals, you're going to want a little bit of comfort on top here, a little bit of ability to move around, but obviously you want your foot to be stable. The wider heel, okay, the heel counter over here, means that it's more stable. It's not stacked high, which means you've got more comfort to land and move forward without feeling wobbly or on top of a high stack height. But then with a low front, which as I say, only 4 mils, you can then roll over that in a way that you don't inhibit your running as your style decreases. As you become more fatigued and less, your hips move backwards, you start running in your butt. It's not ideal. Here's a shoe that's going to keep you rolling forward. So as I say, 236 grams, it's a lightweight shoe. So in my mind, if you want a shoe that's going to take you 21, 42 Ks and beyond, but you want a super shoe, you want it to be light, you want it to be as fast as you possibly can on race day, and not think about your feet, I would say the New Balance FuelCell Elite Comp is a wonderful shoe. 4,800 Rand might sound like a lot, but for a marathon that you've trained 3 months for, it's a tip in the ocean if you want to be quicker. It's lighter, faster, more comfortable, and a great shoe. For more details on our review, check out www.bikeruntry.co.za There's a full review there. Get out and give a pair of these a try.